I'm not one of those 2 or 3 teams that's taking it super serious. Turns out my teammates were.
What is a team? What does a not muddy Rockcastle look like? I don't know.
Is this okay that we're talking,
I also like the bathhouse.
Welcome to the 3 Gun Show, brought to you by Armalite. This is episode 142, and I'm your host, Dave Hartman. And this is a Match Recon episode of the Rockcastle 3-Man 3-Gun, and our buddy Adam Maxwell is on the show to conduct the interview. As always, I really appreciate you listening to the show. A lot of people don't know this, but this is my full-time gig. That's right, I'm a podcaster, full-time. To keep up the quality of the interviews and the content that you've come to expect, I need your help. I have started a Patreon page for the show. What Patreon does is it allows you as an individual to support me as a creator directly without the need of an intermediary like a network or something like that. I'm dedicated to bringing you the weekly 3-Gun podcasts on Wednesday, and that won't change. Match recons and bonus content from now on will be available through Patreon exclusively for the first 90 days for supporters of the 3-Gun Show. If you choose to support the show using Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/3gunshow, Patreon. If you can't support the show at this time, don't worry. That content will be made public after 90 days, so you won't miss a thing. You'll just get it, 3 months later. Thank you for your continued support of the show. As always, you can find links to ways that you can help at 3gunshow.com/support. Now enjoy this Match Recon episode of the Rockcastle 3-Man 3-Gun. Adam.
Dave.
Welcome back to the 3-Gun Show.
Here we are.
Another Match Recon episode.
Yes.
This time with non-special field correspondent Dave Hartman. Going to be doing the recon.
The tables have turned. I've been promoted from field correspondent to anchor.
Special guest anchor.
Like Ron Burgundy.
but redder.
But I do have many leather-bound books. So
does your apartment smell of rich mahogany?
It's more birch. Birch is more prevalent up here.
We are in the Midwest.
All right.
Well,
so what match are we talking about today,
dude?
Dave?
So I'm not real sure what match we're talking about because the name varies depending on where you look.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah. And so so I'm going to go with practice score.
Practice score. I mean,
the event on Facebook was different, but I'm going to go with practice score. That's the record. When we look back on the tablets of history, and these will be iPads.
I mean, practice score pretty much is the Bible of action shooting.
Correct. No, I wouldn't say it's the Bible. I would say it's the what the hell is that? Rosetta Stone.
Well played.
Maybe it doesn't really translate anything.
Well played, sir.
Where's the numbers? It's the abacus of
the almanac.
Almanac.
The farmer's
there
almanac.
There you go. It's the farmer's almanac of practical shooting. Hey, Ken.
We made something really awesome sound extremely lame, and you're welcome.
Ken, feel free to use that one in your marketing, man.
Yeah, we won't even charge you.
Send us $1. All right, so this is the
buy a t-shirt.
This is the Rockcastle 3-Man 3-Gun presented by Samson Pro and DoubleStar.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about today. So this is a team match, Adam.
Team matches.
And I like team matches.
Have been, it started up in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if it was Dean DeTurk's wild idea, but they've been spreading.
Yeah, so
there's a few of them around now.
This match is, Bryan Ray and Brian Vaught went to Dean DeTurk's match, and I believe they took Andrew from Samson with them. This is a secondhand story, so I'm not real sure. Mm-hmm. But they liked it so much, they cut off a branch of his match and went back to Kentucky and planted that branch. And the intent was to bring the 3-Man 3-Gun topped-in flavor to Kentucky for something for their local guys to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that was its intent. And because Ray and Vaught are who they are, and they're like super fun and Ornery. Mm-hmm. It's grown a bit of a reputation, right? And then Rockcastle's a destination, so now you have people traveling from many states away to go to this match. Mm-hmm. I think I got the award for longest haul, though. We didn't. I mean, there was no award, but I think
was it a rubber ducky?
I know. I think I did come from farthest away though, being I came from Austin.
Good, because I'm going to use that.
The rubber ducky.
Yep,
I like it. So let's get into it here. So this is the 2017 Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun presented by Samson Pro and DoubleStar, and it was at the Rockcastle Shooting Center it was June 10th, and it was at the Rockcastle Shooting Center in Park City, Kentucky. Park City, Kentucky.
Yeah, Park Mammoth is in California, I believe.
Park City, Kentucky. The match was time plus penalties, and it was a points match. And the rule set was Rockcastle Pro-Am.
So that's like the Horner system? Is that correct?
No.
No.
It's the same thing as the match we just did, the Missouri 3-gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time plus penalties, points match.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're not scoring
zones?
They're not scoring zones?
Nope. Okay. Not scoring zones. I don't know what you would call that, like IDPA-ish rules or whatever. They call it Horner scoring, don't they?
Horner scoring is basically IDPA rules given a politically correct name. Because if they called it IDPA scoring, like everyone would hate it.
Yeah.
But if we call it Horner scoring, then it's suddenly cool.
Because everyone respects Mr. Horner.
And as do I.
Right.
I mean, the man's a legend.
I disrespect his scoring system, though.
Not a fan?
Yeah. Take that. All right. So
it has its merits, but I'm not particularly fond of it.
So sign up and scoring was on Practice Score. I did not sign up because this was a team match.
Why?
Because I was invited to go there by some guys who needed a third dude.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So you were a third wheel?
Yep. There was Team Lincoln Arms. They have 5 dudes on their team, and it's a 3-person match, so they can put 2 teams together, and then they need a third dude. And so through mutual friends, Bryan Ray and Bryan Vaught, Mike Boone reached out to me, and he's like, want to come shoot on our team? And I was like, heck yeah, I want to come shoot on your team. Because last year I shot this match, and it was a ton of fun. And I just, Bryan Ray told me, just show up, and someone will not come, and we'll put you on their team. I'm like, okay.
Well, now, so for those who haven't been to a 3-man 3-gun, there are 2 types of teams. Mm-hmm. There are those who are in it to win it.
Oh, I'm getting to that.
And then there are those who are here for the party.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Okay, good.
That's downstairs in the fun factor.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
we'll tease it for later.
Absolutely. So, or maybe I was going to talk about that in the division of winners, but so the schedule, it's a 1-day format.
1 day?
1 day. Again, it's a local match.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they have 2 areas in which you shoot, and it's Thunder Valley and it's the bays. And so you shoot the bays in the morning. Mm-hmm. You have lunch provided to you by Rockcastle Shooting Center. Mm-hmm. And then you go shoot the valley or vice versa.
So you don't get to clear the bathhouse with your team?
No.
Dang.
I know. That would be sweet.
That would be
and
sweet.
Very dangerous.
That's an idea for next year.
Write that down. The match fee was $210, and number of shooters, 50 teams, 150 shooters.
It's $210 per team.
Per team, correct.
Okay.
So the 50 teams, 150 shooters, and I think it was more like 148 because there was a dude on our squad who had no teammates, and he just took pickup teammates all day.
It's a bold strategy.
Yeah. We'll get into the funny stories there, and I'll tell you one about that.
Oh, man. I'm just spoiling all the...
Yeah, so there's only one winner, and it was Jeremy Young, Raleigh Prince, and Craig Reeser. Mm-hmm. And those guys won the match. And I believe I saw that they were defending their title. I don't really remember who won last year, but I think these guys won last year as well. Other shooting opportunities, none.
As is typical of a one-day local match.
Yeah, yep, pretty much. Yeah, so that's the quick stats on the match.
Now, were there multiple divisions, or did they just run TO?
Good one. It was ran as TO, TAC Ops.
Okay, that's how I run ours here, and that's how others do. The open guys always feel left out.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, do we have to shoot TO or can? So I was curious if they put together an open squad. I say if they can shoot for exhibition, or if they get 3 teams together, we'll make a trophy for them.
Oh, that's cool.
But we've never had 3 open teams. So
there's probably not 9 dudes that shoot open in one state in the country.
Correct, but there are a couple very vocal dudes who shoot open that made their absence known. I love you, Josh. That would be cool if we could get a 3-man open division. That would be legit.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. Mike and Lan, rally together. All those people you guys make shotguns for. Let's have an open division.
Yep. We get Nubs. We get Tommy Thacker.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Clint Upchurch.
See if they're out there.
Oh man, yeah, this could be
They're
fun.
out there.
Mark Roth, Randy Luth. Josh Fullerton, of course. Not Fullerton. Sorry, Josh Freilich.
I think Jesse T has some open guns
yeah.
stashed away in his many safes.
We could, and then if we start pulling from other disciplines, Shane Coley and Max Michelle shot
JJ
it for
Rincaza, where are you at?
Yep. So they had the Big Gun television show where they all shot open.
Yeah. KC?
Yeah. KC Subio.
Yeah. This is
Max
the thing,
Michelle,
guys.
Shane
this
Coley.
Is the thing.
All right.
3-man open.
3-man open. The most expensive.
Well, see, and the funny part is sometimes I don't know if this match was like this. Sometimes in three-man you have to use your teammates' guns.
Yes.
Which would be sacrilegious for most open shooters because their crap is set up so individualized that if they pick up somebody else's gun, they have no idea what to do with
Absolutely.
it. So, Dave, what was the flavor of this match?
Flavor of this match was shenanigans for sure. And
that's the best flavor.
I love that flavor. It's it's like sorbet. You know, it doesn't look good. It looks like vomit, but it's going to be fun. So this is a match put on by Bryan Ray and Bryan Vaught. And if you've ever met those dudes, you know that those guys are full of shenanigans. They're hilarious guys, and their match definitely reflects that. They're going to make you do silly things. They're going to make you do fun things, and then you got to figure the teamwork portion of it out.
Right.
So
right.
That I would say is the match flavor.
That's awesome. That's the best flavor.
Yeah.
And really, that's the point of 3-man because there's only so many powerhouse teams that can be assembled.
And I guess I'll just roll into it right now then. So the Vaught said it a couple times. He's like, as far as I can tell, there's only 2 or 3 teams taking it real serious. Everyone else is just having fun.
How many teams were there?
50.
50
teams.
Holy cow. Well, what was the terrain like for these stages?
Well, so this is Rockcastle Shooting Center, and it's a natural terrain mecca.
There are flat spots, and there are not flat spots.
So half the stages were in bays. No, so there's 3 bay stages that are done in the little pistol bays, which I assume is where like most of their membership shoots comes to plank. I think most of them are like 25-yard bays. I'm not real good at judging distance, but I think most of them are 25-yard bays, and then there's like 150-yard bay on the end. And they had a one multi-bay stage that was in 2 bays. They had another bay and then the 50-yard bay. And then you get to go to Thunder Valley, which is a really ridiculous, beautiful valley that you just have so many options for shooting long distance and stuff like that.
Yep.
And you have the battle rattle is what they called it stage out there, where you're all shooting at the same time, and then they had the golf cart stage out there as well. So
The what?
Golf cart stage.
Tell me more.
We'll get to that next. Skills utilized. Let's jump there. Okay. So one of the skills you have to use, Adam, is driving a golf cart. And the other skill you have to use is shooting while the golf cart is moving. All right? So Ray and Vaught went to the shooter source match like we did in Tejas. And you can definitely tell that they did because they had this golf cart stage last year, but it's just a little bit different this year, and it has flavors of Jeremy's match for sure. All right. So last year, the pistol you shot, last year you shot pistol and shotgun, and there was 2 shooters that shot shotgun, clay, and then fall down targets or knockovers, and then 1 shooter shot pistol, and it was paper targets. This year, pistol shooter shoots BC zones, and then which is very similar to the shooter source match, right? The rifle shooter is shooting paper targets on the ground, and the shotgun shooter is shooting were they clay? No, they were clays last year. The shotgun shooter was shooting just knockover steel targets, like those little 5x5s that fall over on a hinge.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then but you have to like switch, right? So you have to tag each other out. So this is pretty cool. The driver is driving. You can choose whatever gun you want to start with on the other side. You get down to the end, you dump it in a barrel. You make a U-turn, you come back, and then the driver jumps out, tags the dude standing at the table, and now that guy goes in as the shooter while the first shooter slides over into the driver's seat. Now he's the driver.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude.
And so are the guns staged in the golf cart, or are they like on?
The guns are on a starting table or a staging table.
Yeah.
Loaded, empty chamber.
Okay. So you have to retrieve gun of choice.
You're just standing there.
Yeah.
You're standing there next to your gun. You can't touch it until you're tagged, and then you pick it up.
Yes.
You pick it up, and then you can't charge that rifle before you cross the line. And there's a start line.
Yep.
And you can't charge a pistol before you start the line. Can't charge a shotgun before you start the line. But the first shooter starts butt in seat at low ready, no matter what gun it is.
Yep.
And then the how does that work? First shooter tag. Yeah. So the first shooter also makes ready their shotgun, and there's a clay at the end. Not at the end. There's a clay at the start. By the staging table, and you have an unloaded shotgun sitting there. And when the final person comes and tags you, you pick up your shotgun, you shoot that clay target, and the timer is activated on your last shot. So now the timer does not have to follow the shooters.
Okay.
So the timer just stands at the start.
Is there a part time on all this? Or?
Yeah, they're part times. I don't know what they were. We didn't have to run.
Were they adequate, or did a lot of people time out?
I did not see a lot of people timing out. Most people will drive faster than they can shoot.
Yes.
so they just kind of ended up with a lot of misses and
oops.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So that is that portion of the skills. Coordination with teammates is a huge one. One thing I've noticed in shooting this team match now the second year, just saying what hand you're going to tag each other with or what side you're going to run on can save a lot, because a lot of times you'll end up like just bumping chests, and that wastes time as you're trying to transition in and out of boxes.
Yeah.
Also, being honest, an honest assessment of your skills. And if you know the dude you're gonna go shoot with, it's easy, right? Because you say, oh, Adam's the shotgun shooter, Dave's the rifle shooter, and then Jim Bob's the pistol shooter. So,
and I get this question a lot, so I'm going to ask you: what is a team of a 3-man team? Like in top 10, and I assume a lot of people don't understand. A team is 3 dudes.
Yes.
And 9 guns.
Yes. 3 dudes and 9 guns.
So it's not you have one rifle guy, one shotgun guy, one pistol guy.
No. That is correct. But what I'm saying is, if you took a shotgun, rifle, or pistol,
Yes.
what is Adam's best gun to work with?
Correct. Yes.
Right.
On
That's
a given stage or whatnot. Is there a stipulation that a person has to shoot a certain gun? Like if you shoot a pistol on one stage, can you not shoot a pistol on another stage?
No. Each stage is separate.
So every stage you get to decide who.
There's different rules on every stage.
Yeah.
I'll get into that in a minute here.
Okay. Yes.
But so what I'm saying is, like, as far as coordination, like, are you a rifleman or you're a pistol shooter or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to do it, like on the golf cart stage where you only shoot one, then you want your pistol shooter to shoot pistol. You want your rifle shooter to shoot rifle, right?
Yep.
And that's how you formulate a team if you were going to assemble one.
Yep.
Now, when you don't know your teammates, like I had never met my teammates before.
Right.
I had interacted with them on Instagram and stuff, and that was it. And they didn't know me. And then now there's this politeness of you're our guest, and I don't know you. And then I'm like, well, these guys, were nice enough pay for me to do a match slot, and they know each other, and so I don't want to step on their toes.
Yep.
And then they got me this nice shirt, and so.
But who's going to shoot the slugs?
Exactly. Well, and so you have to be confident in your abilities and confident enough to say, you know what, you guys should handle this, or yes, I can handle that. And so we kind of did that on some stages where it was like, what do you want to do? But then when it came time to do the slugs, I was like, I got this, because I know that I'm dead nuts on slugs. In the last like 4 matches, I've had one makeup shot on slugs. So I mean, I've finally got it to dialed in. Like, I know these slugs are legit. I know my sights are legit. I know the shotgun's legit. I got this. Let me handle this. And so they're like, all right. So
you won't find many people that will argue with somebody who
wants to shoot the slugs,
who puts forth that opinion.
Yeah.
Would you say the targetry itself was there any trickery with that, or did the challenge come from?
Challenge was from a team match. The challenge was from a team match. There wasn't anything super crazy or anything. The biggest craziness was what they call the battle rattle, and so it's you all shoot rifle at the same time. Drop your rifles on the table. Run to the next position. Pick up your pistol. Rack your pistol. Now you're all shooting pistol at the same time. And there's like 30 steel targets out there. Brian Ray, sorry, buddy. Brian corrected me on the number of targets, and I already forgot what it was. Sorry, Brian. But a
lot.
Yeah, so there's like 30 pistol targets out there, and you got to knock, poppers, and you got to knock them all down as a team, and then you got to drop your gear and go, and you can only move as a team. So everyone has to have their pistol on the table before you move.
So everyone has to collectively say, yes, we're done now.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. You can't think you're done and check out.
Correct. And run to the next spot and wait for your team.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Okay.
So the way that we coordinated that is I was on the right side position, and we had to run to our left. So I'm the last guy in the stack, and it was my job to shout go when we all had our pistols on the table. And I saw a lot of teams where they would like look at each other like, are we done? Is it okay to move? And they're still holding their pistol. And there was even people that like unloaded their pistol and set it on the table. Like, didn't say we need to unload it. Just says it needs to be sitting in a safe direction.
Yeah.
And I observed that, and I told Ben and Mike, I'm like, hey guys, there's a lot of time to be made up here from people just like bumping into each other, Three Stooges style, like, nuts to butts, and
team tactics is really huge.
Huge. Yeah. And what was the other thing?
It's all simple stuff. It's just you don't think of it in the context of a normal match.
Right. So here's another thing you don't think of in a normal match. There was one stage where we all had to shoot rifle, we all had to shoot pistol, we all had to shoot shotgun. There were 3 ports in thirds on a stage, and they all had the same number of targets. So all had to shoot each gun, and you can choose which port you want to do, and then you have to tag your teammates in between. You can only have 3 guns. So now I've got to shoot Boone's rifle, or Mike Boone. Now I've got to shoot Boone's rifle, Boone's pistol, Boone's shotgun, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of cool, though, because you had tables in between. So what you would do is you can stage your guns on either the left table or right table.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 4 tables total, right? So there's table, shooting port, table, shooting port, table, shooting port, table.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't matter which way you go, if you're a right-handed team or a left-handed team. The start table is where all the guns start, and they need to all end on the end table. And so you go and shoot your port with the shotgun. If you're smart, you load it for your partner, sit it on the table,
mm-hmm.
Tag him out. He runs and picks up that shotgun, shoots from his port. If he's smart, he loads it up for his partner, sets it on the next table, tag him out, go pick up that, shoot that array, and then safe it on the end table,
mm-hmm.
go back and tag the first dude. First dude goes and picks up pistol or rifle, repeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was where things went awry for me. And I'm going to be repeating a story to Adam here, but we talked about this on episode 136. I did a recap with the team, and there's tons of laughs to be had on that one. So if you're in the mood for a laugh and maybe the kids aren't around, or I don't know, PG-13, I would go check that one out because it's freaking hilarious.
Advised.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, junior shooters that I met this weekend that told me they listened to the show. My bad. So one thing that I did not count on was damn near heat exhaustion, right? We went to this third stage, and we kind of got our little strategy down. And with a team match, it's a very long stage because there's 3 people, 3 guns to get ready, or 3 mounts of gear to get ready.
Yes.
But the good thing is, if you have, 5 squads, 10 teams, now you've got 30 people to reset. So reset's really easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going through. We got our stage strategy down. I think we're good. And then all of a sudden, the edge of my vision just is kind of going black, and I'm feeling like I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna go sit down. So if I pass out, the fall is shorter. Yeah, I was wrecked for almost the entire stage, and we were DFL. So yeah. I kept checking in every now and then, we got 5 shooters. Okay, that'll only be another hour and a half. So I told my guys, I'm just gonna lay on this bench over here. Come get me when I'm ready to shoot. And that's when we had to shoot that stage I just described.
Mm-hmm.
And I pegged a no shoot with the rifle. I had a couple misses with the rifle on some really close targets where it was just offset problems, but I wasn't thinking right.
Yeah.
So we totally boned that one and ended up with 40 seconds of penalties. It was pretty terrible. So that unfortunately is something you have to deal with in a team match as well, is your teammates' performance and not just your own.
Yeah, that's kind of what I say, is that it's the only match where 2/3 of it ain't up to you.
That's a good point.
And the penalties sting. They sting a lot more when you did them to your team or your team does them to you.
I tell you what, the penalties that my teammates came up with, which I think were probably 10% of the penalties that we had between the two of them, hurt a lot less than the penalties I inflicted upon my team, for me. But so wrap up the skills utilized real quick here. Slug shots out to 50 yards, no big deal. Those are easily attainable. Plate racks with the rifle. And if you've ever shot a 3-gun nation match, you're pretty easy with that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, this is run with TAC Ops, but we decided that it would have been good to have one teammate with a limited rifle, a 1X rifle. Because there were situations where a wide open field of view and a red dot and, for giving eye relief would have been pretty handy.
That's probably the first time I've ever heard of that strategy. I've seen 3-man teams shot with
Then I will delete this later.
Yeah. This message will self-destruct. But like, yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Uh-huh.
You know, because everyone pretty much just shows up with their gear.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, to specifically have.
Yeah. So this, so I had that Armalite 13.5 inch that I have set up with the Vortex Spitfire for the running gun.
Yes.
But I did not use it because it was a TAC Ops match.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'll tell you in a minute here when we get to the farthest shot was 50 yards with a rifle. Last year it was about, I want to say it was just under 200. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'll bring my TAC Ops gear. This year it was 50. Mm-hmm. The part that I was concerned about is that there was some like, I think there were skinny Sammys. So there was 2 plate racks and a skinny Sammy plate rack-ish type thing that you had to shoot rifle on 50 yards. And so I was concerned that I might get put on the skinny Sammys. I could do, 50 yards with the red dot, no problem. Mm-hmm. However, that stage I described with all the ports would have been really nice with that Armalite and 13.5 inch and then that red dot. Mm-hmm. That would have been perfect for that. Also, the golf cart stage would have been perfect for that. Mm-hmm. Because you're shooting close-ish targets that are coming fast, and to have a, forgiving eye relief and a huge field of view would have been handy.
Yep.
Yeah. So, pro tip.
Some of that's what's pushed me back into limited.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've had more situations where like, man, I wish I had a 1X optic or a short barrel rifle on this one. Instead of, gee whiz, I wish I was getting another 100 feet per second out of this thing so I could. So, no, I can totally relate with that. And there's a lot of dudes out there who are fighting with pretty heavy rifles.
Yeah.
Or pretty I mean, they're DMR rifles for all practical intents and purposes where, a lot of this stuff could be done with a quote unquote assaulter's rifle.
If you put a different break on the rifle that I shot last year, it is absolutely a DMR rifle. Mm-hmm. And by different break, I don't know what they use, like flash hiders or suppressors or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it is a DMR rifle. It's 18 inches. It's heavy as shit. I would not want to carry it all day. But the, that Armalite, super light, gets a little heavier when you throw a scope on it instead of a red dot. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, you are playing with SBRs this year in a lot of matches and running limited. Yep. And I couldn't help but think of that when we were sitting there wishing we had that Armalite.
Barrel steel is dense.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like we were talking about, read the rule books. So this is run on Pro-Am rules, Rockcastle Pro-Am rules.
Okay.
So I wish I had read the rule book before to see if you can sub in a gun. Because if we could have, by the time we realized that we should have had that Armalite, we could have subbed. And I don't know if we could or not because we didn't read the rules.
And you weren't just going to break it just so you could?
Yeah. We're like...
Oh, no, my cam pin fell out.
Yeah, well...
Dang it.
So, maybe at some point someone said, well, no one's going to notice what you've been shooting all day. Maybe.
Yeah, but you'll
allegedly.
know.
and I was like, you can build 1,000 bridges. And then there's another part to that saying that I won't say, but you'd know. You yourself would know, and then you'd have to know that you were a cheater. So.
Yeah, and there, that's where I draw the line. Mm-hmm. Like, there's, I'll do anything to win except cheat.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, that's.
Well, and that's the thing is like if you do that one thing, it makes it easier to do other things. Right.
Definitely a slippery slope.
It absolutely is, and the
and there's karma that goes with it too.
Yes, absolutely is karma.
When they ask you the engagement question, did you shoot at that target? Oh yeah, I shot at that target. Well, it's coming full circle by the end of the match. If you didn't actually shoot that target,
it's true,
it happens every time, whether it's real or perceived. Yeah. No, that's no. Yeah, I'm definitely with you there.
Yeah,
so that would have been an interesting.
Yeah, so one team member with limited, I would say, would be good. And in that case, if there are long targets, then you put the dudes with limited experience on their limited gear, But then if you need to have short targets or that would be advantageous for someone else, then you can loan a gun out, right?
But at a match like this, generally speaking, like you're saying, they don't make the targetry too difficult. So, I mean, it's not like you're going to be banging away at 400-yard flashers.
Yeah, and we had last year it was 200. Like I said, I think it was right around 200-yard targets and there was 3 of them, and they were generous sized.
Yeah, which at the end of the day is not that tricky of a limited shot.
If you're a limited shooter, which I started in limited, you shoot limited all the time, right? But there are folks out there for, whatever reason, be it a physical limitation or just an unwillingness to attempt it, cannot shoot limited, right? So there could be an eyesight issue or just a confidence issue or something like that, right? So.
All
right. So farthest shot, like I said, 50 yards, and you only had one plate rack to do that with. Also, 50-ish yard slug shots, and there were only 2 of those.
Okay. What was the schedule like then? This is a 1-day.
Yeah. So did I skip that? Oh no. Yeah. So 1-day format.
Yep.
3 base stages, lunch, and then 2 stages, or vice versa.
3 stages, lunch, 2 stages. You were done by what? 4, 5?
Shoot. I think we were done by. Yeah. We were done by 4 or 5.
Okay. So then, were there a lot of logistics involved then? Or?
So the logistics, you come the night before.
You do.
Most people come the night before. You can show up the morning before.
Yeah.
And then your teammate that signed up just needs to go check you in.
Okay.
You're here. Ding. But because it's Rockcastle, most people will come in the night before, stay there, and then shoot the match the next day.
Okay. Is there a lot of scouting that goes on the night before?
So I talked to some people that went and looked at the stages. So the day before, when I arrived, they were setting up the stages on Friday. I talked to some people that looked at the stages, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's not a whole lot of strategy. They're pretty straightforward." And I was like, "All right." And so I didn't go look at them because I also didn't have my teammates there with me.
Yeah.
So it was no big deal. There was no.
That's an interesting statement. Not a whole lot of the whole match is strategy.
I mean, I guess it is, but
really,
also, I'm not one of those 2 or 3 teams that's taking it super serious. Turns out my teammates were. I admit. My bad.
They were taking it super serious?
No, they weren't taking it super serious, but they wanted to win.
Well, everybody wants to win.
So, yeah.
Okay. So then, was there a lot of pre-match communication then too?
Let's go back to the venue real quick.
Venue, okay.
So the venue's Rockcastle Shooting Center, 2,000-acre facility that backs to a national park. So they have a lot of secluded room, right? There's a hotel that's straight out of Dirty Dancing. It's the 1950s resort hotel type thing.
It totally is.
And the famous parking lot where lots of lies are told, lots of stories are told. And,
man. If that parking lot could talk.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so many great stories starting and in there. And a lot of booze. Fun fact, they now have a full bar. So they've got a liquor license and a full bar. They got in a dry county. They got an exception.
Wow.
So in addition to the winery that's there, they now have a full bar. Also have a restaurant, and there's multiple options for shooting 3-gun long range like we do, out to 400, 500 yards, or actual long range. And I believe I heard that now that they can get to 1,600 yards.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that in Thunder Valley or that's somewhere else?
That's in Thunder Valley if you
shoot it the long way?
Shoot it the long way from the Tobacco Barn area. Yep. And they do that they run a lot of precision matches there.
Did you use the Tobacco Barn for the 3-man?
I peed near it. Does that count?
I mean, the whole point of going to Kentucky for us is pretty much to shoot out of that tobacco barn.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's just awesome that they make you shoot through a 2-inch hole.
Oh, that's right.
At a target that's 400 yards away.
Yeah.
And then you got to shuffle 6 inches and shoot through a different 3-inch hole.
I think the shooting
it's just the ambiance
into or off of the bathhouse is interesting.
Yeah.
And
I also like the bathhouse. I also like the bathhouse.
That's becoming a sound clip.
Dang it. It's never going to die either.
The bathhouse is interesting because you hear like, oh yeah, it's over by the bathhouse. And you're like, oh, that sounds creepy. And it is. It's weird.
Yeah, but there's nothing by the bathhouse.
No, in the middle of the forest, for no good reason, there's this cinder block constructed bathhouse.
I mean,
it's pretty creepy, right? When you like stop and think about it, why is this
if
here?
someone calls out in the bathhouse and no one's there to hear it, did it really happen? I mean, it's kind of out there on its own.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But they've got multiple areas for 3-gun all over that place, and it's a pretty phenomenal facility to be sure. We're very lucky to have it in 3-gun. They've also got like a little cowboy town where they have, like a cowboy facade that you can shoot from, like on a boardwalk. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they've got 5 bays and sporting clays, 5 stand. Got it all there.
Was there a stage down in that U-shaped mud pit thing right by the hotel?
Oh, Doe Valley?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing in there?
No.
That's always a good time.
Yeah, there was one in Blue Ridge, but
thereof.
I didn't get to shoot that one.
Okay.
They stopped.
Did it rain?
It did not rain.
Did not rain.
First day, it was nice and cool, and it was refreshing. It was, low 70s and no humidity. It's like, wow, this feels like Denver.
I have to admit, I don't really know what Park City looks like without mud.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What does a not muddy Rockcastle look like? I don't know.
It's beautiful.
It must be.
It is.
A great place.
It's grand.
All right, so
that brings us to pre-communication. I should let you look at the one I'm looking at.
Yeah, because mine's in a different order.
Sorry, buddy. So
sorry, listeners at home.
So pre-communication, I did not sign up for the match, so I was not on whatever pre-communication emails or anything came out, and I don't know if any came out. Mm-hmm. There was an event on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I knew what day was happening, and I knew I was going to be there. That was pretty much it. So I didn't talk to my teammates very much. We kind of talked a little bit, but we didn't really know each other. So it's one of those adult guys trying to feel like, is this okay that we're talking? Yeah. So there was that sort of awkwardness. So there wasn't any pre-communication, and it didn't really need to be. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm curious if you know what's going on. But I don't want to ask you if you know what's going on, because then you'll know that I don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Oh, been there. So that leaves us with the staff.
Yeah. So the staff, Ray and Vaught were like the only staff members.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many moving parts were there to the staff?
Brian Ray and Brian Vaught are the only staff members, really. And Brian Ray was like a wrangler on the bay stages. Mm-hmm. He would just kind of float between the bays and make sure everyone had what they needed or anything and deal with any sort of concerns, which there really weren't. Then Vaught was over doing the same thing in Thunder Valley.
Okay.
Vaught had a golf cart that somehow found itself 100 yards away with no one in it. And so Vaught had to go walk through hip-high grass to go get his golf cart back. And then it also found itself up on cinder blocks at one point, too.
It's like it's got a mind of its own. Is it a haunted golf cart?
It must be. Must be. That said, they had volunteer RO teams where the 3 of the team were the ROs for the squad, right? And
okay, so there was one team of 3 dudes who were ROs on every squad.
Correct.
That traveled with
their own squad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so kind of like local match, where
so
it's like you can run a timer. Yeah, here you go.
So who ran the ROs team? Like who RO'd the ROs?
So I don't know how it worked on others, but there's plenty of people that are capable of doing it, right?
Yes.
How it worked on our team was John Harris had just pulled a tendon in his hand, so he wasn't able to shoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, poor guy. So he went out there with Bethany, his wife, and Dave Horn, and then Bryan Weiland came in to sub him out. So he was there, but he wasn't able to shoot. So he ran the timer when it was time.
Ah.
Yeah, that's how it worked on our squad. I don't know how it worked on the other ones, but again, there's plenty of capable people that can run a squad or a timer when you're talking about 30 shooters on a squad.
It kind of bums me out that John Harris is on the DL.
I know.
Man, get well soon, John. We need you back out there. Gosh. All right. Well,
so that takes us in a. I'll send you the updated spreadsheet here, but the fun factor, the Dave factor.
The fun factor, yes.
I go out there to have fun. I'm not super serious about it. I liked last year when I shot with a pickup team, 2 dudes I didn't know. This year was cool shooting with 2 dudes I didn't know. It's kind of fun to get to know people and everything. So, got to shoot with Ben McNew, which is Ben McPew on Instagram. Cool dude.
How could you not?
How could you not, right? And it actually says McPew on his jersey, which is hilarious.
Attaboy.
Yeah. So, cool dude. Young guy. Joseph Guthrie turned him on to the show when he was like really new into 3-gun. So he's like super into it, which is kind of cool. Mike Boone, who I had heard in story form before I met him and lived up to the stories. and we just had a great time.
Awesome.
Other than me almost stroking out before lunch, it was fantastic.
Got your Gatorade, man.
Yeah, buddy. I did not have near enough water. So we did we just had a great time is what it was. You know, we ended up like 11th place, even though we had 100 seconds of penalties.
Yep.
Which is freaking ridiculous out of 50 teams. So maybe next year,
which I guess
I'll drink more water.
This would be a question then, because that's a common theme with the other team matches that I know around the country. Is there a way, or was there advertised a way to put teams together? So if you're just a single out there, but you want to go to this match, are the Bryans putting together hodgepodge teams?
No. And I think part of that is one, these dudes have like full-time jobs, and setting up a match is tough enough, right? And 2, they like to be funny. So when someone says, "Hey, I want to shoot your team match, but I don't have any guys that want to shoot it with me," they like, say,
"Make friends."
Well, if you weren't such an asshole, maybe someone would want to shoot with you.
Noted. That doesn't really help me though.
Right. And I don't know if they actually told anyone that or if it was just something funny to say to me, but they don't do pickup teams or anything like that. Last year I mentioned on the podcast that it would be fun if they did all random teams. So where you just get 150 people show up, you do some big randomizer, and now you've got 3 random teams.
I don't know
3-man random teams.
I don't know how I feel about that, because I can relate with that idea. That idea has come up locally here, but it's like part of the fun is, I mean, shenanigans are more shenanigan-y.
Yes.
If they're your bros.
Absolutely. Well, and it took us, a couple stages to warm up to each other to where we'd start joking around and stuff.
Yeah, you had to feel out like, is this funny? Or do you think this?
Yeah,
I think this is funny. Is it okay? If
well,
you think this is funny?
From the stories that Ray and Vaught had told me, I'm like, wow, this Mike Boone's kind of a dull character. I thought he was going to be funny, and then, we loosened up over time, and we shot a good match and had good times. Gave each other a hard time for penalties and everything, and so it ended up being good. But yeah, you're right. I think going and shooting with your bros is a good way to do it. Like last year, Nick Molina, John Spreitzer, and Matt Kupika came down, right?
Yeah,
and that's those dudes are bros, right? So I'm sure they had like a really great time, and
also powerhouse shooters in their own right.
Funny story. So this is last year's Match Recon, but Spreitzer DQ'd on like the first stage.
Oops.
Yep. And the thing is, like, only one person DQs. So what are you going to tell the whole team to go home? So they let the.
Should explain that too.
So they let the 2 dudes shoot, and last year what they said was, they let Kupica and Molina shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, what they said was, if you lose a man, press on.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't say you won't be eligible to win the match.
Oh.
They didn't say that. But
they didn't say that.
So Molina and Kupica won.
Oh.
Because they were a two-man team. So arguably, they had to shoot harder and faster because they now had to shoot a third position for a pickup team.
Yep.
Arguably, there was some sort of advantage to that because they were able to eliminate whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact argument. But they won. And
that's interesting.
They won, and there was more controversy to that as well because their score skewed the curve so much that when they removed Molina and Kupica,
because they were so awesome,
that the thing reshuffled. I don't know. The end result is that they had a talk with Kupica and Molina and said, "Hey, look, sorry, I know what we said. We screwed up. You guys can't win as a two-man team." And then Spreitzer, Molina, and Kupica did not come back this year.
Well, that's interesting because I've seen it play out the other way.
Really?
Yes. The last time I was at the Topton match, I saw a hodgepodge team of clowns. I think their name was, I don't know, it was Greg something.
Greg Jordan.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Greg Jordan won Rick Birdsall and the man, the myth, the legend, Tommy Thacker. First stage of the day. First shooter of the day.
Thacker DQs.
Thacker cooked one off unintentionally when he was getting out of a rifle position, gets DQ'd. And, so Dean laid out in the shooters meeting that there are contingencies to shoot through with two people. So if one of your guys deeks, you get to keep shooting. You're still eligible for prizes, which I guess is different than what happened here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and let me back up. There is one prize that is awarded per finish, and then there are several random draw prizes.
Oh, okay.
Half a dozen.
What kind of prizes?
So the first place finish is a serial lower receiver, laser etched with Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun 2017 champion on it. So it's kind of a big deal if they win.
Yeah. Cool.
So go on.
So that's first.
Oh, and there's three of them. There's three of every prize. Forgot to say that.
Yeah, it has to be.
Okay.
So what's going to happen? That was like, and we were on the super squad, right? I happened to be there, but there were other super squad teams there. I was stalking the rest of them because I wanted to watch.
Fanboying.
Yeah, I'm a shameless fan. But so that was the big controversy. Is like, man, you could have worse problems in the world than having more Greg Jordan on your team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so and honestly, it looked like Rick and Greg were having more fun than anybody. Because they got to do a third more shooting.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
They were just letting it fly.
Plus, they're probably using Tommy's ammo and
Tommy's DQ'd, but Tommy's guns are not DQ'd.
Oh,
so they still have 9 guns.
Interesting.
And I think Tommy was even still allowed to load.
So, oh, really?
So he was allowed to. I don't remember that for sure. This is a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I would say if you're DQ'd, you're not allowed to touch guns.
Right. But anyway, so they still went nuts on this match.
I saw them do that shotgun stage where they're just loading and shooting and loading and shooting. They freaking wrecked that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was awesome to behold. And but lo and behold, same thing. Like, you would think everyone thought that the same thing was going to play out that you described, that they were just going to tear this match in half. But I think they ended up at 20th place.
Interesting.
So
how many stages is the Topton match?
I think it's 10.
Okay, yeah, so twice as many as this.
Oh, so they could probably they could probably average it out more. But yeah, I've seen it. So it's played out both ways.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Hey, if you're listening to this and you have an opinion on that,
I mean,
let us know how that goes. And as always, comment on the Facebook or the blog at 3gunshow.com, because if you just email me, then it's just a conversation between you and me. But if you post it publicly, then now we can get a discussion going.
Right, and this is a community sport, and
this
is an emerging segment of the sport. It's getting more popular.
It's super fun.
So let's hash this out and get it on the right track.
Yep. Last thing I'll say is funny things that happen at the match. I told you a couple here, but you just got to listen to episode 136. You will laugh so hard you cry, and you actually hear me guffaw into the mic for the very first time. I lost it, and I wasn't able to control my laughter. So,
oh man, I'm gonna listen just to hear that.
It's a good one, dude.
You said it's 136. 136,
yeah, just a couple episodes ago as we record this. It's pretty hilarious. So that then is
unless you're under 16, then you
ask mom or dad.
Yeah,
or just don't, and then don't tell them. So that is the Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun. It was a fun time. I would love to shoot this match again next year. I love going to Rockcastle. I really like Bryan Ray and Bryan Vaught.
Hard not to.
It's hard not to. Those guys have been so generous to me with their time, and they're such great dudes. And I really appreciate them and what they do in the sport. And speaking of which, that's why they hold this match, is to give back to the other people that give them so much in the sport. So they hold this match as their community contribution for the year, which I think we can all learn something from that. So
for sure.
Thumbs up, would shoot again. Looking forward to next year. I would love to shoot with Boone and McPew again, but if someone else picks me up as a free agent, I'd love to do that too. So there we go. That's the Rockcastle 3-man 3-gun.
Sounds great. I'm going to have to look into it for next year, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if that's one of your drivable places, which you mentioned Missouri 3-gun, and you mentioned Park City, Rockcastle, then yeah.
If it's in 10 hours, you should definitely put it on your radar.
Do you have any other good Minnesota shooters that you could bring with you?
I can think of a couple, but I'd probably have to be less of an asshole so that they would shoot with me.
That is a problem.
I don't know. Sometimes they're too cool for school.
All right, so I forgot. We tried to end this like a couple times already.
If you're finished, unload, show clear.
Show notes at 3gunshow.com. Thanks for playing, Adam.
Thanks for having me, Dave. And I'll get the right script next time, I promise.
Hey, before we take off, check out the show notes at 3gunshow.com/episode 142 for links to things that we discussed in the podcast and, of course, the written form of this Match Recon. You can also find links to become a patron of the 3-Gun Show and to purchase 3-Gun Show logo tees at 3gunshow.com/support. And, hey, big news, ladies' tees are now available. So buy your lady a 3-Gun Show t-shirt. As usual, this podcast is brought to you by Armalite. Armalite likes the community that we are building here at the 3-Gun Show, and we have partnered up for 2017 to be sure that it is a win for you. Armalite has allowed me to get special pricing for listeners on their line of 3-gun rifles, both the 13.5 and the 18-inch, as well as competition handguards, gas blocks, and tunable muzzle brakes. I'm digging my 13.5-inch rifle. I was a bit skeptical about the shorties, but thumbs up for me. So if you're in the market for a rifle or components to build your own, email me, dave@3gunshow.com, and I will hook you up. And I'm back on the road traveling the country and bringing the good times back to you in podcast form. So I will have all this Armalite gear with me at matches for you to check out. So when you see me at a match, just ask, and I'll be happy to show you. You can even shoot mine if you like. A quick reminder that if you enjoy this podcast, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcast content, so you'll always be getting the very latest. Thank you so much for downloading, listening, and subscribing to the show. I'm Dave Hartman, and I'll see you on the range.
finished. Unload, show clear.